I'm Saturday hauling for you guys today, and there is a bit of background noise because it's super windy outside. I actually woke up this morning and the ground was covered in snow. I'm like, it's almost June. Why is the ground white? Luckily, most of it is melting because it's kind of raining off and on, but super cold and super windy outside right now. We had to put all the babies in the barn and stuff like that. But getting into this haul here, I placed an order on the Beautylish website because Sonia G recently came back in stock with her Pro. Both the eye brushes I think are back in stock, and so are the face brushes, but the face brushes are now broke up individually as well, and I really wanted to get another one of these Detail Pro brushes. It's a super handy little brush for precision highlighting, and also I really love it to set concealer. It's just super soft, and it just has just the most delicate type of application on the skin, and I just really enjoy it. I want to get a couple more of her individuals from the Pro line as well, but for right now this is the one that I got, and again that's the Detail Pro. The Pro line has got a tapered handle, so it's skinnier at the bottom than her other brushes. And then I also ordered the Beautylish Presents 420 brush set. It comes with a little brush case that looks like this. They actually sent me a set of these in PR, and my mom was over when I was opening up packages and stuff, and she really liked them, so I just gave them to her for Mother's Day because she really liked the brushes. And then I went ahead and I ordered a set for myself because I think that they're really cute brushes. The set came with 2 face brushes, and they have like a thicker acrylic handle with the cannabis plants, like little shiny foiled cannabis plants in the handle, which I think is super cute. And then another nice detail about these is instead of the bristles like being the standard black color, they have that tint of green to them, which I just think is a really nice detail. But these have a really nice weight to them. They feel good in the hand. Very soft synthetic bristled brushes. So here is the powder brush right here. And then it comes with kind of like a contour brush. This would be really good for cream contour because it is a synthetic. It won't like absorb product, kind of like a natural bristle one would. That's what that one looks like. And then it comes with 3 eye brushes. You've got a flat shader, and then you've got kind of a little smudger brush right here. And then there's also a blender brush. I just think these brushes are so cute, and I'm really onto the CBD skin oil. I just ordered one from Sephora. It's by St. Jane, and there's 500 milligrams of CBD in it, and I cannot wait to get it. I've really been loving, out of the 3 CBD oils that I've gotten for my face, I've really been loving the Josie Maran the most. I think I'm having a little bit of issues with the other 2 that I purchased because they have coconut oil in them, and I have an acne prone skin type. But the St. Jane one, I cannot wait till it gets here. So that set I did purchase, but I also want to say thank you to Beautylish for sending over that first set as well. My mom loves them. Then I was in Sephora the other day, and they had the new Bite Agave lip products, so I went ahead and purchased the Nighttime Lip Therapy with Pomegranate Extract, and there's a ½ ounce of product inside of here, and then it comes in a little tub. There is a cute little spatula in there for you to scoop some out, and then a cover that goes over the top of the product. I've been using this for the past couple days, and it feels really nice on the lips, but when I wake up in the morning, I can tell that my lips haven't retained as much moisture as they would have had I used the Paula's Choice lip balm that I've been using for years. Another one I've really been enjoying as well is the Laneige Sleeping Lip Mask. Paula's Choice I think is probably the most moisturizing out of all of them, but in comparison to this, feels really nice on the lips, but for overnight it doesn't have quite as much hydration as those other 2 for me. But I like to throw this on during the middle of the day, and it feels really nice. One of the biggest things that I love about this is it has a citrus vanilla scent that I am just head over heels for a citrus vanilla, and that's what this smells like. So even just putting it on and getting a whiff of the balm kind of makes me happy. So for that reason in itself, which is kind of silly, but I will keep this and kind of just use it maybe as a in the middle of the day balm or something like that. Maybe as we get into the summer months it might work out for the nighttime, but for right now it's just not quite enough. Also from Bite, I purchased one of the Outburst Longwear lip stains, and the shade that I got is Orange Fizz. And I bought this because I seen Samantha Ravindal talking about these Bite lip stains. I can't remember if it was on Instagram or a YouTube video, and she like really sheared it out and it stained the lips this really pretty like tangerine color, and I was like, I need that for summer. So I went ahead and I bought one. Again, this is Orange Fizz. It's a really pigmented shade. This has got a little bit more of a red undertone than the shade that I have on my lips right now, which I'll show you in a minute. But you can kind of how I kind of saw her do it is she put some on and like sheared it out like this, and it's like stained the skin this really, almost like you were eating a popsicle type of a stain, which is always super cute in the summertime. And this has a nice kind of citrusy sweet smell as well. The lip mask has a slight sweet taste too. I don't think I mentioned that. I also purchased one of the new Fenty by Rihanna Poutsicle Juicy Satin Lipsticks, and there's 0.1 ounce of product in here. The shade that I got in this is Snatched, which is the orange, and that is what I have on my lips right now. I've got it on with Charlotte Tilbury's Lip Cheat in Iconic Nude and just really blended it into that liner, and I think it looks really pretty. I love that they match the packaging to the corresponding color inside. It's just easier to find like a shade if you were to maybe buy them all. They had some really fun colors. I was tempted to get kind of the fuchsia purple ones, but I just went with this orange one. This has a really nice vanilla scent that I love in a lipstick. It's super creamy. It's very opaque. It's got a slight shine. It almost looks like I have a gloss on my lips, but I don't. I just have this. I think it's a super, super pretty lipstick. I would love for more shades of this formula of lipstick from Fenty. I think it's great. So this is Snatched. I got a feeling I'm going to be wearing this a lot. One of the things that I love about this is it doesn't pull coral, red, or pink. It's orange. And you can see swatched next to the bite, the Fenty, just how orange that Fenty one is, almost makes that bite one look slightly reddish, pinky coral compared to that. So that is the shade Snatched from the Fenty Poutsicle lipstick line from the summer collection, I believe. From that same Fenty collection, I got one of their trio liquid eyeliners, and this is the Baewatch Vivid Liquid Eyeliner Trio. There are 3 shades that come in here, and each one is 0.13 fluid ounces per shade. I'm really tempted to get the other 2 sets as well because these are just really fun, like accent eyeliners. I have got the shade, what is it, got a specific shade? Jalapeno. Jalapeno is what it's called, like Holla. I've got this one on just kind of on the tail end of underneath my wing out there, but these are going to be super fun for summer. Let's give you some swatches. These are brush tip applicator, which I love. This is my favorite style of liquid eyeliner right here, and they're pretty doggone opaque for, you know, the shades that they are. I think that like they're pretty nice. And then the blue one is called Hot Tub Club, and it's just a really vivid blue shade. And then there is a kind of a pink color, which is called Techno Beat right here. The packaging is cute too. It's kind of got splashed with the color that's inside around the packaging. See, that is some opaque eyeliner. For those type of shades to just go on that opaque in one swipe, I think is really impressive. I'm so tempted to get the other sets. There are 3 sets in total, I believe. I was just trying to wipe those eyeliners off my skin, and I did wear this green eyeliner the other day, but I didn't notice this on when I washed my makeup off. I didn't see like the effect that I'm seeing on my hand, but those have a slight staining effect to them. Very interesting. Like I said, I didn't have a green stain on the outside of my eye when I washed it off the other day, but it's kind of staining the skin a bit. And there's that other Bite Beauty stain that's staining as well. And then because I love the first little eyeshadow palette that I bought like this, I purchased 3 more of them all during the Sephora VIB sale. These are the I Love Sephora palettes. So I got 3 more shades. I got Light Cool, Light Warm, and Jewel Tones. And the one I hauled initially was Medium Cool, I believe. So this first one is Light Cool. This is just like a super perfect nude eyeshadow palette. You have got 3 shimmers on the bottom. You've got 4 mattes, with the largest pan being kind of a matte brow bone shade, which is totally right up my alley. But what I've really been enjoying to use the neutral palettes that I got like this for is even just pairing them with other eyeshadow palettes, because the colors are coordinated so well in here. It's just super easy to use for crease, blend out, underneath the brow, all of that. It's kind of a one and done type palette, which I just think is super nice, and they perform really, really well. They're nicely pigmented. I don't get a ton of fallout, and they're super easy to use. So I think these were $14, and then I got mine during the sale on top of that. So I mean, what, 12 bucks? And these are super nice. So this one is the Light Cool. So those are all the matte shades in that guy. Here are the shimmers. Right there. And these are, did I mention, these are from the Sephora collection. Oh, geez. Sorry, I got a little bit of a color in there. Let's swatch that pink again. Let's put it right here. So that is the Light Cool. Again, this is what the packaging looks like. This is what the outer box packaging looks like on these guys as well. I thought it would be super cool if they would have incorporated the box packaging on these guys, but this next one is the Jewel Tones eyeshadow palette, and I thought this would be a fun one for some pops of color. The top three are all matte, and then this guy on the end is matte, and then these three right here are shimmers. So let's give you some swatches. So the matte shades, and then here are the shimmers. Right there. So that one is called Jewel Tones eyeshadow palette, right there. This next eye palette is called Light Warm. This is one of my favorites. I've used this quite a few times already. So these guys are all matte right here, and then these three down here are shimmers. Let's give you some swatches. And they're really nice and compact too, so if you just like wanted an all-in-one little traveling palette, neutral traveling palette, so nice. There's the first four. Those are all matte, and then here are the shimmers. Right there. So that one is the Light Warm eyeshadow palette right there. And then BareMinerals came out with some new pressed bronzers and highlighters. So I purchased 2 of the highlighters and 1 of the bronzer shades. This first one is the Endless Summer Bronzer, and the shade is Faux Tan. There's 0.35 ounces of product in this guy. It just comes in a black packaging, and then inside there's BareMinerals embossed on it with a little mirror. There are 2 shades available, and I chose the Faux Tan shade because it read a little bit more neutral than the other shade, which is kind of a warm shade. So I got this guy, but I really like this bronzer, and I was able to swatch the other shade in the store, and it's warmer, but it still looks really like it looks really pretty on the skin as well. So I'm tempted to get the other one, but I don't know yet. So this is Faux Tan. I've worn this an absolute ton already, so you can see like the embossing is already going on there. Blends out super easy, looks really pretty on the skin. This is a pretty neutral type of bronzer, if anything, with a slight yellow undertone to it. But I really like the bronzer for sure. And that is the shade Faux Tan right there from BareMinerals. And then the first highlighter shade that I purchased is in the shade Whimsy. And this has got a pink undertone to it. It's got a thicker type of a texture to it, but it's not super powdery. It's very interesting. You can almost feel a slight silicone in there, but it buffs out on the skin really pretty. I've used this in Absolute Load as well. You can see that the BareMinerals is kind of dissipating in there as well, but this has got a pink undertone to it. I have got it on the top of my cheekbones today and kind of the highlight points of my face, and I really like it. A lot of people are talking about the shade Free, which is kind of a champagne gold, but I swatched that in the store and it just looked too deep for me. People keep mentioning it though, so I'm really tempted just to try it on my face and see. But for now, this is the one that I've been wearing kind of as a highlight, and I really like it. These are some really pretty pressed products from BareMinerals for sure. So you can see it's got that pink shift to it. So that is the shade Whimsy. And then when I swatched this one in the store, I was like, that needs to come home with me just because how pretty it looked. And my mom was with me and she actually bought one of these as well. So this is the Endless Glow highlighter, and this shade is called Joy. And this is actually a blush for me, and that is the blush that I have on my cheeks today. I've been wearing this quite a bit like all week, and I think it's so pretty. My mom really likes hers as well. It's just a really pretty tangerine peach shade. And again, it's a blush on my skin tone. On a deeper skin tone than mine though, I can about imagine how pretty that would look as a highlighter shade. But these two I have on my skin today. So you got Joy, Whimsy, and Faux Tan right there. Super pretty. And then Ulta had a display for some limited edition Milani Hypnotic Lights shades. These are like the glitter topper type eyeshadows, and this color just looks super pretty. So I got this guy, and it's number 2 Electric Forest. I know that Stila has one in the similar type of shade, but I've kind of, even though the Stila ones I think do pack a little bit more punch in terms of like the glitter, some of them do anyway. The square packaging, because you can't twist the top all the way tight, a lot of mine have dried out and they're just far too expensive to have them dry out that fast. So I got this guy right here, which is kind of comparable to that mint shade that Stila has, and it's got a, you know, I can tighten it pretty tight. So this is the shade again, Electric Forest from Milani, and it's just a really pretty one right there. And what I like to do with these type of shadows is kind of tap them over a corresponding eye shade to just really make them, you know, stand out. So that's just a really pretty shiny green shade. My hand is totally stained from those things. And then because I just absolutely adore the other 2 shades of the Anastasia Beverly Hills loose highlighters, I decided to go ahead and purchase the Sunset Aurora one as well, which I thought maybe it might work on my skin tone. It is too dark. But if I mix it with either of the other 2 shades that are out there, the So Hollywood or the Snowflake shade, I can make it work. It just gives it a little bit more of a bronzier hint to the other 2. But I love these powder highlighters from Anastasia. I wouldn't mind at all if she wanted to come out with some more shades. And I think the glitter tops are super pretty and just really buffed into the skin. These just give it such a really pretty look. Your skin kind of shines through and it has like a slight wet iridescence to it. I just think it's stunning. So this is Sunset Aurora, and it's too deep, but oh well. I can mix it. And there's 0.21 ounces of product in this guy right here. Definitely would look beautiful on a deeper skin tone than mine. This is what the packaging inside looks like. And then here it is on my finger right there. Swatch it for you. Just really buff it in right there. So again, that is Sunset Aura from ABH. Then off the Ulta website, I went ahead and I purchased the Black Moon Cosmetics Orb of Light Full Moon Eyeshadow Palette. So this is the box packaging. This is an indie brand that recently launched on the Ulta website, and I had been tempted so many times to purchase this palette, and I hadn't done it. And then when it was on Ulta, I'm like, I'm gonna use my points. Inside it comes with like a little card in there, and it says, an entire eyeshadow palette devoted to the moon, 8 buttery matte shades, intense pigmentation, blends seamlessly, vegan and cruelty free, patent pending, sleek and comfortable design. These shadows in this palette are awesome. They're all matte, so this is another one that I like to use with super shiny palettes that I have. I have been loving it. I've worn it a ton so far, and the actual packaging on this guy is awesome. It's like a hard plastic, and then the lettering on here is kind of raised, and then inside are all your eyeshadows, and again, they're all matte, and this big one right here, which for me is like the under brow bone highlight, or a lot of people like to set their bases prior to doing their eyeshadow, is larger. So, you know, if you tend to use a shade like that more, which I do, your palette's gonna last a little longer. I just think that's awesome. On the box, there's 0.60 ounces of product. That's what it says on the back of the packaging there. They are pigmented. They blend really nice. Really been enjoying it. I do get a tiny bit of fallout, but it brushes off the face relatively easy. And the coordination of the colors in here is just epic. I think it's great. So there are the first 4. There's that really pretty mustard type shade. And I mean, there's a lot of product in here. Like, this palette would last a very long time because there's so much shadow. And then these next 4 right here. Like, you can make a cool look out of it, although it initially looks like a warmer palette. These shades right here are, you know, you can do a little bit cooler tone look if you want to. Super nice, right? I was really impressed with this. So that is the Orb of Light Full Moon palette from Black Moon Cosmetics. And then I also purchased off of their website another indie brand called Menagerie Cosmetics. I purchased 2 palettes from them, and I really feel like they got it going on when they come to the box packaging to the actual packaging. This is how I wish a lot of brands would do it. Instead of making like the outside box packaging super fancy, make the actual packaging super fancy. I just love that about these palettes, that they put such pretty images on the palettes themselves, because now I can easily toss these boxes because they're, I mean, they function, they did their function, but they're not so pretty where I want to feel like I need to keep them. I can just toss them without regret. So I got the Feral Eyeshadow and Pressed Pigment palette, and I also got the Courtship eyeshadow palette. This one was $20, I believe, and then this one right here was $29, which is not a bad price at all. And there's a massive amount of product in here. Like, the pans are loaded. Each pan is 2 grams of shadow per pan. The shadows are also magnetized in the palette, so if you want to take them out, you can. The brand sells singles as well, so if you wanted to remove them and still use this pretty packaging to, you know, put other shades in, you can, which I love the whole idea behind that. They had a palette that came out, their newest one was called Whale Song, and it was so pretty, but it sold out too fast and I wasn't able to get it. I tried to sign up for the notifications and stuff, but I didn't make it. So here is the Courtship eyeshadow palette right here. Super cute. And then inside there is a little mirror, and then here are 6 shadows in this guy. This is the palette that I have on my eyes today, with the exception of Wet n Wild's Brulee eyeshadow, which I have got underneath my brow bone. Otherwise I've got all 5 of these, with the exception of this guy up in the corner on my eyes today. Super pigmented shadows. They blend out pretty good. I do have to be careful with how much product I pick up with the mattes because they're so intensely pigmented. I realized that I had just picked up too much product. But they do blend out pretty nicely, but I have to be careful not to pick up too much because for starters, they pick up really easily on a brush, and they also are very, very pigmented. So that is something to make note of, but otherwise I'm really impressed with these shadows. These 2 center shades I have on the lid today, but very nice. I think that the packaging is gorgeous. The shades are gorgeous. They're removable. You get a massive amount of product, and they're relatively affordable. I think this was 20 bucks for all that product, and the other one was 29 for 12 shadows. And then these next 2, I will say the shadows are pretty soft, so I did get some fallout with them, but it brushes off pretty easily. Not bad for an indie, that's for sure. So that is the Courtship eyeshadow palette right there. And then this is the Feral palette right here, and this one has got 12 shades in there. I am a little nervous to put the lid all the way back on this one. I'm kind of scared that I'm going to crack the binding right there, but these are the shades inside of that guy. You have got all mattes with the exception of 3, Pack Leader, Wolfling, and Huechera. Huechera. Those are the shimmer shades in here. Everything else is matte. Go ahead and give you some swatches on these guys. I've used quite a few of the shades in here. I haven't used the blues and greens yet though. I really like their metallics too. I'm tempted to order some of the singles. The singles on the site are only $5. And these next 3. And then if I get some singles and I want to swap out and maybe get a matte, maybe brow bone shade to put in one of these, I think that's super cool. These ones. And then these last 3 over here. I did pick up a little bit of that yellow on my eye look today just to intensify that green is stunning. I have not used the greens yet in here. I really like their metallic shades. So that is Menagerie Cosmetics Feral Eyeshadow and Pressed Pigment Palette. Super pretty. And then next up, I purchased a few items from the MAC and Aladdin collection. The movie's coming out soon, so they did this in collaboration with Disney and Aladdin. Here is the outside box packaging on all the stuff that I purchased. So I got the little pigment, and this is in the shade Rose, and it's kind of a rose with a shift of a gold to it. And then, yeah, it's got a little stopper in here. So it's kind of a pink pigment that shifts a gold shade, which I think is a little bit too pink to call it maybe a rose gold, but kind of along those lines. It's pink with a shift of gold in it. And then the lipstick that I got is in the shade Friend Like Me, and this is such a pretty color. All together, I wore the products, like all the products that I got in one shot, and the look that comes out when you like use all of the shades is super pretty. I was feeling real jasmine-y when I wore all the products, but this is what the lipstick packaging looks like. It's super cute. And then the shade is it's a pink nude color, and it's one of my favorite finishes. It's an amplified cream. I wore it with, I believe I wore it with Charlotte Tilbury's Iconic Nude, and it was just stunning. So that is Friend Like Me. I'm tempted to get another one of the shades, the second lightest one, but for now I just got that guy. And then I also got the Your Wish Is My Command powder blush is what they're calling it, but it's the bronzer. And this is the bronzer that I have on my face today. I've worn this a couple times so far as well, and I think it's a really gorgeous color. It is quite warm compared to some of the bronzers I've been wearing, but it's still really pretty. I did notice that there's a little bit of hard pan forming on there, so it is a powder that's pressed pretty well in the pan. I used a natural bristle brush to apply it, so I might end up having to kind of scrape that off, but that is just something to make note of. It's pressed a little bit harder than some. So that is the Your Wish Is My Command bronzer with the little genie bottle in there. It's nicely pigmented though, and I think it's a pretty shade of bronzer. Been wearing it quite a bit as well. And there's the packaging right there. And I also got the highlighter, which is called Always One Jump Ahead. Again, it says powder blush on the back of this guy. The packaging is the same. I thought that, for some reason, I thought the highlighter and the bronzer packaging would have been switched up a little bit, but it's the same on both of the compacts. And then this is a really strong gold shade. It's got a little bit of hard pan in there as well. So again, a little bit more stiffer pressed product. Unfortunately, this is just too deep for my skin tone, on at least for the top of my cheekbones. So I had initially applied it, and like you could see the deepness on the top of the cheek. So I went over it with, I think it was ABH's Snowflake, and really buffed it in to kind of get that lightness back into it. The shade is pretty. I think it would look really pretty on a medium, you know, deeper skin tone than mine. But if I want to use it, I'm definitely going to have to mix it because it's just too dark for my skin tone. I mean, it's not a blinding shimmery highlight either. It's just kind of got a sheen to it. Maybe I should try to use this as a blush. And then I also got the Eyeshadow ×9 Princess Jasmine eyeshadow palette. So it's got the 9 pans, how much product's in here? A total of 0.20 ounces of product. This guy has got 3 mattes, which are these two up in the corners, and then this deep shade down in the bottom. Those are the mattes. I wore this palette the other day as well, and some of those shimmer shades are super, super pretty. Again, all together, wearing the collection as a whole, it was just a really pretty look, I thought. I used this pink shade underneath the brow, and it definitely deepened up over the primer, so it wasn't super, super lifting, but it kind of came out all together in the end. So let's give you some swatches here. I'll show you what the packaging looks like right there. Whoa, whoa. So those are the top 3. Right there. This shade is probably one of my favorites. It's kind of got a slight duochrome to it, like a purple brown. Oh, did I get enough of that? These last 3. That wind is out of hand, man. So that is the Eyeshadow ×9 in Princess Jasmine right there. And then next up, Curiosity got me on this one. I had heard not so good things, but I was like, I'm going to try it for myself anyway. And I bought both of them with my Ulta points. It's the, they are the Stila Happy Hour eyeshadow palette. And the other one is called the After Hours eyeshadow palette. Each palette has got a total of 0.8 ounces of product inside. The packaging on the palette itself is like a super heavy duty hard plastic packaging. Like it feels really substantial. And then inside you have got 12 eye shades. I've been using these two palettes kind of off and on for the past 2 weeks, I think I've had them for. And the shimmers can look really pretty. They have to be used over a tacky base or wet. I mean, these glitter, these real foily ones, I get a ton of fallout with all of the shades. And the mattes. I'm thankful that there aren't a lot of mattes in here, because the mattes are really bad. They're just not good. They do not blend out. They go patchy really easy. They're just not the nicest in the universe. And while those really glittery shades can look pretty, you just get a massive amount of fallout with them. It's kind of crazy. I was so excited to try these too, because when you first open it up, they just look so beautiful. And they do. They still look beautiful looking at them, but they are something to work with. Can you get a pretty look out of them? Yeah, you can, but you're going to have to work for it, I feel. I'm going to give you some swatches, so hopefully you can see for yourself whether or not this is, you know, something that you may want to pick up. I'm definitely less than impressed from Stila, I guess, just because they are something to work with. This shade is very chunky, lots of fallout with that color. But I am just not a fan of those matte eyeshadows. I think that they're just not good. And then these guys, they're just, these shades like this, they're just really, they feel really gritty, which, you know, had there been maybe a little bit more binding in there, they wouldn't have so much fallout and feel so gritty, but and then these last few here. You know, had the mattes performed better for me, I think I would like this more, even though those really sparkly shades have got that much fallout. But, I mean, the frustration was real when I was working with those matte eyeshadows. They're just, like, really thin and almost, like, too soft. But, anyway, that is the Stila After Hours eyeshadow palette. And then the second one is called the Happy Hour palette. And there are some super pretty spring shades in here. Like when I wore these like purples and stuff, they do look really pretty on the lid, but you got to work at it and expect fallout with them for sure. But no go for me with these mattes. These are the 4 matte shades right here in this palette, and then these ones over here are kind of glitters, and then you've got these ones which are more like a standard shimmer, and then these 5 right here have got that more gritty texture to them. But here's some swatches. And then these guys. I'm just thinking back on like how frustrated I was getting trying to use those matte eyeshadows. I couldn't get the one shade to adhere or blend out the other shade to like save my life, man. But here's the last 4. There are some pretty shades in here, but if you have tried these palettes, I would love to know your opinion on them. So that one is the Happy Hour eyeshadow palette. Again, these are both from Stila. And then lastly here, I have to show you guys this product. I have not used it yet because I'm weak. I'm being real weak right now, and I'm very tempted to get another one so that I can use it, but this is just so pretty. I just can't. This is the Chantecaille, what's the exact name? They did a collaboration with Olivia and Sylvie, who do British wallpaper of the House de Gournay. I believe that's what it says in the lid of the box. But look at this. This is so pretty. Again, this is from Chantecaille. There's the little write-up about it, and then here is the compact. When I first saw this, I was like, oh my gosh, I need to have that. And then when I got it, this, oh, I shook my camera there. This compact is a lot smaller than what I was thinking it was going to be. I thought it was going to be a standard kind of size compact, kind of like the size of the BareMinerals products, but this is quite a bit smaller than that. There is a total of 0.15 ounces of product in here, which is smaller in terms of what you're getting. However, it is a baked jelly type product. But let me show you this. This is the packaging. So pretty. And then inside, you have got a baked jelly pink duochrome highlighter. I swatched the little corner ever so slightly, but I can't bear, but I can't bring myself to mess up this really pretty bird embossing in there. Like, get yourself together, Tara. Just put a brush in it. But no, you can't. You can't, right? Would you? I don't know. Should I get another one? I don't know. I don't know what to do. Baked gelée is my favorite type of, one of my favorite type of textures for products, even all over the skin. Bronzers, blushes, highlighters. The finish just looks super pretty on the skin. So I know that I would love this as a highlighter, but it's very expensive. So a backup of it just to use would be very expensive. Anyway, I just wanted to show it to you guys because it is out. I've seen it on quite a few of the websites like Nordstrom's, Neiman's, Saks, and stuff like that. I think this was $78. But that is like a collector's piece for sure. It is so pretty. And the box that it comes in too, I'm just going to keep it in this box. This is super pretty as well. It just goes in here and like sits right there. So that's everything for my haul today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it helpful. Thank you for watching. Do not forget to wear sunscreen, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.